My name is James Gill, and I'm the pastor of Providence Church of Morristown. We're starting a new Bible study through First Peter. And in those first few verses or so, the apostle has several important things to say to those who would receive his letter, and then to those of us who will read it today. First, the recipients of this letter were dispersed across the empire because of persecution. The apostle referred to them as sojourners, and this signifies that followers of Christ are akin to strangers in a foreign land, exiles, aliens, pilgrims in the world. In other words, to belong to Jesus Christ will often put us at enmity with the world. It is not abnormal for a Christian to feel out of place in the world because he is. This world is not our final home. Second, the recipients of this letter were chosen according to the foreknowledge of God the Father. The apostle referred to them as elect, signifying that although scattered and exiled and persecuted by the world, followers of Christ are preferred, called out, and selected by God. Now, although we do not have a home in this world, we're sojourners, God has not left us orphaned. Our identity as elect indicates that God has called and assembled us into his own household. The word church is related to this term, the assembly of called out ones. For the Christian, it is normal to feel at home with God and his church, and we must often rekindle our affection both to God and his people. Third, born again to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. The apostle referred to them as fathered, signified that those who sojourn in this world and those that are elected by God were regenerated or born from above to a living hope. Remember the distinctions of belonging to God through Christ. On the one hand, you are not at home in this world because you have been called into God's household. On the one hand, you have not been abandoned to the vain pursuits of the world, because on the other, you have been born from above to a living hope that comes through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. You see, for the Christian, it is normal to feel frustrated by worldly pursuits and to be disappointed by its vain pursuits. Those born from above are given a hope that is alive and never disappoints. Finally, we are protected by the power of God through Christ. The apostle refers to them as guarded, signifying that although they were persecuted by the world, they are protected by the power of God. Now, this word means military sentinel, a garrison, and it reminds us that although we are mistreated as foreigners while we live in this world, God Himself acts as our guardian and protector. You see, faith is a greater weapon of protection for those born from above than any weapon devised by man. The apostle reminds us that we are estranged in this world and we will often endure temptations and persecutions, but that we are protected by the power of God, that we have been born again to a living hope, and that we have been chosen into the household of God.